problem. All of you are frozen, so we're good.
Okay. Right.
Let's
Okay.
go.
All right. We're live now. Hi, Vaughn. How are you? Thank you for doing this, Ching. We already Vaughn is waiting for us. Can you see on
I
the right hand side? There's people
yeah,
in the
I see
audience.
I see
Yes.
Vong
Yeah.
Durham. That's it.
Right. Yeah. Sometimes people sometimes people waiting for us, sometimes people will come later. Okay, we have six actually. Some people just write their comments so we know they're
Okay.
here. Some people do not write, so we do not know they're here. So overall, hold on 1 second. Hey, please, no dishwashing.
It's like that mom energy.
This is too funny.
I have like a cleaning maid. Always does fucking dishwasher during when I'm having live show. Sorry, but anyway, I can yell today because I earn it. We earn it. Can we
We
all
earned
say?
it.
Can we all say
You all wanna
FUCK?
yell.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Ah,
Oh my god, I scared my dog. Oh my gosh, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Anyway,
My dog just freaked
do we
out.
have everybody in? Are you okay? So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So, how are you doing, young man?
hold on. I'm good.
Yeah. So, any news? Any news between Tuesday night to now? Anything is troubling or comforting, or you want today? This show should call the show of goddamn bitching. Okay, you can bitch any way you
Okay,
want to. Yeah.
I have a lot of bitching. I think what I was so disgusted by was I don't know if you guys saw The Onion, which I usually love. I think it's so funny. But
Uh-huh.
then they made a joke about like something about Andrew Yang being a tourist, and it's like, dude, he's lived here for again like 20 plus years, and I don't know. I think it just perpetuates the whole foreigner situation. But it's like, wow, he's lived here for 25 years, and it's still a joke that he's somehow, a tourist or something like that. So that was quite annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how you feel? Let's just talk about how we feel. How about Peter? What was your reaction?
Oh,
It's all your fault. You
I
didn't
know.
come out the last day with me.
My
Sorry.
heart was broken. Yeah. Oh man, it was so bad. Now I actually passed out asleep because I've been spending a lot of time on Clubhouse.
Yeah, he has addiction now.
Yeah, but I woke up after midnight,
Yeah.
go online, and the news outlets are saying he conceded.
Mhm.
I'm like, man, with ranked choice voting, why? So,
Yeah.
and I was depressed the whole day. Yesterday, yeah, I could not
Same.
do
Yeah.
anything. I was really out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So, what do you say, Eva? Eva. Hey, Clark is here. Hi, man, Clark. Hi, Clark. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hi,
What are you
how's
doing?
everyone doing?
Where are you?
Good.
You are outside.
Yeah, I'm walking around Queens right now.
Okay.
Sunny
He's in
side.
Queens. I could tell from the subway.
Ah,
Queens
okay.
Boulevard.
So we're talking about how we feel right now. It's Eva's turn. Eva,
Did
your
she
turn.
do?
Disappeared.
Huh?
Yeah,
She
she
disappeared.
disappeared as soon as Clark came on. I don't know.
What'd you do?
And actually, oh,
Huh?
she posted the Onion article in the comments.
Oh, okay. All
No,
right. So how about Jackie? Jackie, tell us how you feel.
I feel affirmed by the suspicions that I had been having for the last few months. Now that, a lot of us volunteers on the ground, finance committee, and, various staffers were able to get together and just kind of like rehash what happened. And yeah, I wasn't paranoid. There's been articles that came out also, confirming our suspicions that Tusk was just no good for our man. I get we're live, but that was just a suspicion I had, and a lot of other colleagues had as well, and it was true.
So who is Tuscan, by the way? Like, have we met them? They hired Chris?
So Bradley Tusk is the head of Tusk Strategies, and I think they're a consulting firm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and they were the ones that were behind the Bloomberg campaign.
Okay.
Um, uh, maybe Peter or Nell knows, or Jackie knows more than I do, but I'll just say this. I mean, literally that article, the first article that I saw came out like within
Minutes.
hours
I'd say minutes.
of minutes of
I think I read it at
of
the party. Right?
yeah, it was like literally, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what is this? And I had a suspicion all along that something wasn't right with this campaign. Like, it felt like it was Yang watered down. Like, it didn't have the sense of the excitement of 2020. And at first, I wasn't sure whether it was because this is a second campaign. You know, UBI is not the main feature, and we're kind of marketing ourselves towards a different audience because, you know, it's New York City, it's not the entire country. So I figured, okay, maybe, you know, maybe that's why. But it certainly felt like, you know, Yang wasn't really being himself. Even some of the policies, it made me scratch my head. You know, even the tweet, that infamous tweet about the Israel-Palestine thing, it just seemed so off. And like, you know, having now read that article and hearing on the ground about Tusk, it just all makes sense. And uh, I don't know if Tusk's intention was to uh, to to hurt our campaign. I don't really think so. I'll just give them the benefit of the doubt. But it's like a bad marriage where, you know, you give it a shot and then you realize that, you know, you're not compatible. So I think Tusk is more geared towards the mainstream political, candidates, whereas Yang is not, you know. And we had somebody working for us who was thinking along the old ways, and it was just not compatible with who we were and who Andrew was. I mean, to say that, you know, Dave Chappelle would do free shows for us, I mean, come on, how can you turn that down? That's like it's like you're turning down an offer from
Dave
uh,
Chappelle.
yeah, I mean, that's
From
crazy.
Lady
It's
Gaga.
crazy.
Lady Gaga.
No,
Or-
like, it almost felt malicious. Like it was like a malicious. And I know you and Jay, you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, but to your point, it's almost like, wait, you know, not to get all conspiracy theorists, but I don't know. Like it's very shocking.
Well, it's
Listen,
upsetting.
the truth.
I mean,
Yeah, I think what Yunjay is saying makes sense, and I'm with him 100% so far. And it's just I don't know if they understood the Yang game. I don't know if they understood the power that we had. We had so much potential. Um, I'm gonna curb my words because I was involved with the volunteers more heavily, um, and I was involved since actually before the campaign ever really started. Before Andrew even announced, I was already behind the scenes, you know, trying to set things up on the volunteer side. But you know, it was yeah, I don't know if they understood the Yang gang. That's what I'm saying. It's like when as soon as he announced, you know, soon after we had like 4,000 volunteers. I don't know if you guys remember that.
yeah,
And you know, eventually things dwindled down because, you know, yeah, we have 4,000 volunteers, but we had nothing for the volunteers to do.
It was very
You know,
disorganized as a volunteer.
and that was yeah, and that you know, I'm after reading that article, you know, it makes sense. You know, I mean, I don't know, if, you know, like there was nothing for the volunteers to do. They didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know how to leverage it and we had so much potential and so much that we could do, and you know, we just it was in limbo. So a lot of the volunteers just deactivated and not, you know what I mean. It was a whole big mess, and like I don't know who said that. Was it Eva? That it was
What
a
article?
disorganized,
What article?
disorganized. There was a
It's
hard.
from the uprising.net. It's from
Yeah.
uprising.net, and
Yeah.
I think I have an idea of who the presidential advisor was, but I don't want to say it here. That like leaks this information, but I didn't want to interject, but I just wanted to say I actually think Tusk very well understood Yang Gang and was very aware like the powerful effect that Yang Gang has, and they like purposely was gatekeeping um our abilities to put on our own events, to do our own outreach, um and to kind of like essentially like block communication from on the ground up, and it was because they probably didn't want us taking over what essentially they were paid to do and failed miserably. Like you have 4,000 volunteers and you don't have paid staffers that can delegate right, or you won't even let us do it and keep all the volunteer information to yourself, not allow us to communicate with each
But
other.
I don't get what would the benefit have been for them.
It's not a benefit, but they were already paid. Like we hired them, like Yang hired them, so it's not like they lose from Yang losing this election. This is just a gig for them.
Yeah. They're hired
I mean,
mercenaries.
there's still some staffers like today pandering current mayoral candidates hoping they can get a job
Yeah.
on social media. So it's just not I don't think it was malicious, but I think it was control. I think it was to make sure that our power wasn't too obvious for everybody, because like Yang Gang is infamous. Also there's other very similar like volunteer groups that actually like make huge differences in other elections. Like I don't know if you guys know about the Markey verse, but they went all in for it's for Edward Markey. He was a senator that was going up against Kennedy in Massachusetts, and they were all like teenagers, but they were so powerful. Their online grassroots organization was just like was something that a consultancy like could not pull off. And they most recently put all of their energy towards electing Michelle Wu, who is running for mayor in Boston. And I've read a bunch of think pieces where they're like,
I have no idea about any of this.
yeah,
Like, this is
the
really
ages
dark.
of the ages of the regular old like suit and tie male white centric political strategist consultancy days are over. It's not just happening with us. It's like it's happening like not in waves, because it only happens for people that inspire others truly, but they're becoming kind of obsolete,
Yeah,
and
listen, I can
blew it.
go ahead. I can say
I
this.
just want to say they blew it. They
Go,
blew a
go.
30-point lead. That's all.
Yeah, listen, I can say this. Um, I have had so much love and gratitude that I've received from Yang Gang for all the work and effort that I've put into this campaign. Um, and I can honestly tell you this: a lot of what I ended up doing, I did on my own. A lot of things that I did myself, right? I'm not talking about, like I canvassed and I worked with a lot of great people, but a lot of things that I ended up doing in terms of graphics, because you guys know I'm a graphic designer. A lot of things I ended up doing in terms of graphics, I ended up doing on my own because, I mean, there was nothing for me that the campaign was offering me to do. You know what I mean? And so, I just wanted to see Andrew Yang, win this election. And so I went out of my way to just do whatever I could on my own. And it's unfortunate that we could have worked hand in hand and done better, but the potential was there. It wasn't leveraged, and that's as much as I'll say.
Yeah. So Clark is here. Can we hear something from Clark? Hi, Clark.
Hey everyone. So yeah, no, I was working on the campaign a little bit towards the end, or should I say, I was not directly working on the campaign, but basically working on the campaign. And yeah, I think that there were a bunch of sorry, kind of loud at the moment. Yeah, no, I think that there were a bunch of missteps that were made that were very, very unfortunate. I don't have any complaints on a personal level about the people I met in the campaign. Consultant staff, they were all lovely to me, and I met a lot of great people who I'm going to be in touch with for a very long time. But I think that, yeah, there were some pretty weird things going on, and honestly, I think that going forwards, the project that we work on, I think that we can learn a lot from some of the lessons from this experience. It's really good. Like it is difficult, right? It is difficult to sort of separate the wheat from the chaff, and it's like everyone's an armchair strategist, right? Everyone's an armchair strategist. Everyone's got some take, and it's like if you're at the top of like this management thing, it's kind of like, all right, well, we're the experts, you like little people stop, you're just like, because like a lot of suggestions that are coming from like the ground or even like the finance committee, it's like all right, well, that isn't really the vibe, that might be a bit silly, but I feel like there was kind of an unwillingness to hear ideas that weren't coming from certain places in the management structure. And I also feel like another crucial misstep was knowledge of New York City politics, right? So if you want to do politics in New York City, especially as a political neophyte, you have to surround yourself with people, not just people who are loyal and who have the right incentives and want to see you win, but especially people who know New York City politics, right? So people who really are intimately familiar with politics all the way down to the local level, know how these relationships work, know what the soft spots are and what the weak parts are and what the points of attack are. So I think that you can find people who are political experts from all around the country and all around the world, and who have very impressive resumes and might be really, really good in certain contexts. But there is a special, politics in New York City is different, and so if you want to do politics in New York City, you need people who are really intimately familiar with the city. So I think that going forwards, whatever movement or movements are spawned from this, it's really important to acquaint ourselves with the processes in New York City politics, so we don't make some of the blunders that were made during this campaign. I just wanted to say you guys are all awesome, and thank you so much for everything that you contributed to the campaign. You put your hearts and souls in, and as I said on election night, this is only beginning. This is just the beginning, and that's what I told Andrew. This is just the beginning. Wait and see.
Thank you.
Clark, you're awesome, dude. You're awesome.
He literally dropped the mic in his mouth.
Well, if he goes back and watch, you're awesome,
Yeah.
Clark. Clark is amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Clark was, I canvassed with Clark in the Bronx a few times, and listen, we were all dedicated. We all, pour our hearts into this. We gave as much as we could with what we were given.
I have a
That's
question.
That's what I can say.
I have a question. Oh, first of all, I want to thank people who are watching us in the audience. We have 26 people, but not everybody's making comments. But I wanted to thank who is making comments. As Vong says, thank you for doing this. Juhl, here, Youngan. You guys are done so much without getting compensated. It's tremendously hard to take. Did Andrew Yang lost his genuineness? He asked. And then someone, BF Network says, sad Yan lost. And then Wang says, some of the volunteers were more Bloomberg than Yangan. And then Capital, who is that? Capital Cake?
Captain and Coke. I guess that's your favorite drink, I assume.
Okay. And he says something like I assume it's a he. I like Yan, but Adams captured the law and order. Vote even though he is not what he was meant to be.
That's true.
Yeah, and he said also the Coke said Yan probably was the best. And then we have a Gerald Lego,
Lego.
JECC, Lego. Hi, Lego. Which article he was asking? And then Vaughn
Yeah.
said more things. Can you read what Vaughn said? Can you read?
Uh,
Can you see?
I would.
Yang was controlled
Uh,
chaos that gave Andrew Yang clout. True.
Yeah.
During the
Yeah.
presidential, but seems distorted and unfocused. Political operatives.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Shangi Poo made a good point. It's true. I think a lot of us agree. It doesn't matter what Yang does or says. The media will spin it however they like, whatever narrative they want to push.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Vaughn said I would have rather fall down on my
integrity.
integrity.
I don't think.
Integrity.
I don't think Andrew.
Shane is here. Hi, Shane.
Hi, Shane. I
Hey,
don't
everyone.
think he sacrificed his integrity. I think it sounds like I'm just learning that he took the advice of these consultants.
Uh-huh.
He put his trust
Yeah.
without like he tried to kind of compromise, but Fawn, to your point,
And Danny says, thanks, NYC Young Gun. You all did a great job. What's next for the movement? That is a very good question. Before we answer that question, I have a question. I have posted lots of, I make lots of videos for every day. I pretty much, whoever I see, I put the video out there. And then people now asking me questions said, why Andrew Yang conceived so early? What happened at the second round? If he is voted as a second, would he have any
yes.
chance? My question is that, please.
No. So basically, um, between Eric Adams, Maya Wiley, and Catherine Garcia, uh, them three alone have about 70% of the votes. Right? Andrew Yang only has 12%, and Scott Stringer has like 5%. That leaves with about 13% of the vote left. So even if every single vote, mail-in ballot was like for Andrew Yang's still not going to get 50% of the vote. So he saw the math. It's simple math, So he's not going to be the next mayor.
I
It's
agree. I
unfortunate.
agree. It's unlikely. But I agree he should not have conceded. What all the absentees? I don't know how many there were, but let's just say theoretically he gets half of. Let's say he gets half of the second place votes. All right, it's not going to happen. But what if that happened? That's another 35%.
Yeah, well, listen,
He
Shane,
would be up. He would be over 40% already.
yeah, but here's the thing. Even if let's pretend by some miracle of God, Andrew Yang does end up, winning the election. I mean, I don't think that him conceding is a bad thing, because he could just say, "All right, well, I thought I was gonna lose." You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't. I actually see it better that he did concede this early. He sees the numbers. He sees that rather than having us wait 2 weeks and hoping,
I
and then to just be
sadly
let down.
agree. I
So,
feel like it was very on brand, I guess, like for him to be just straightforward and like you said, the math just wouldn't add up. I think because most of the votes were already counted, and because of the way the ranked choice voting works, where like this whoever voted the first, like second vote would go to their second candidate. I'm no expert in that, but
I have a question. My question is, has any other candidate conceded yet? Because Scott Stringer obviously has less numbers. He only got 5% of the vote so far. Is Andrew Yang the only person that has conceded? Because that shows leadership, and it shows the kind of leader he is.
Yeah, I think Scott Stringer is living in a fantasy land, and maybe he just dreams.
Scott Stringer thinks he's the comeback kid.
No, I don't think.
Not at 5%.
I think he doesn't care. He doesn't care to be upfront with his people. Yunjae. Like,
Yeah.
I think he knows, like, he's not dumb. Like, he knows he doesn't have a chance, but why would he, stick his neck out and say that?
You know. Yeah, well, you're gonna like the way you look. No, I'm joking, dude. We listen. We had so much fun these past couple months. I'm freaking proud of each and every one of you guys. Um, it's been a fun ride. We've had high energy. We brought it to the, we brought it every single time, and you know, uh, listen, I told it to somebody today. I said, Abraham Lincoln had so many failures in his life, and yet he ended up being one of the best presidents we've ever, well, revered as one of the best presidents we've ever had. So this is not, obviously it's not the end. Andrew Yang is still a young guy. Um, yeah, this movement is way bigger than Andrew Yang. So, whatever Andrew decides to do, I think he should just take a break for a little bit, enjoy his family. He's been away from his kids for a long time. He was able to be with his kids during this campaign, but let him enjoy his family for a while.
He
and
tweeted he's going to a vacation.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
that's what and he
Good.
needs one.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He deserves it. He's been campaigning his ass off for so many. I mean, how many hours? How many places did he go in a day? I followed Andrew Yang one time on a Sunday, and I went to like 2 or 3 events. And dude, the guy walks so much. I mean, okay, granted. Listen, What walking is not my strong suit. If you've seen me, you guys know I do not walk. It's not what I do.
Yeah.
One question is like, he must have a bunch of pairs of shoes, because if he's wearing the same pair of shoes every day, I could just imagine like the blisters on his feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all you guys are awesome. All of you guys are awesome.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how we real feel? Just quit all the bullshit. How we real feel that night and the next day, other than
Okay, well, I got to the. I'm sorry, I'm hogging up the microphone over here.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I literally
You are.
I literally got to the party just as he finished his statement. So it didn't hit me till like a day later or 2 days later. Well, no, is it 2 days later already?
Yeah.
It's 2 days later.
2 nights.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, it everything's like a blur. I felt when I I could say that I felt like you guys, and I'm sorry to use this analogy or this example, but it felt like remember when the Twin Towers collapsed?
Yeah.
Like there was like a dead silence,
Yeah.
and it was like audible. It's like you're in shock. You're speechless. You don't know what.
That is a weird analogy to use. That is.
It is a weird analogy, but what I mean is like it.
What are you, the super pack?
You feel defeated. You know what I mean?
Are you? Is that Lisa? What is her name? Lisa Smith or what's her name?
I don't know, man. Listen. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Oh, it's a different pack. Sorry, that's a different pack.
No, what I mean is like I was speechless. Okay, so when the towers collapsed, I think a lot of us were just speechless. Like not a word. Like we there was no words to explain how we felt.
Yeah.
And that was the same feeling I've had. I've never felt that way with any other thing. That's why I'm using it as an analogy, as an example of how I felt, because the same way I've never felt that way with anything else. I wasn't really speechless when he dropped out of the presidential.
But this
I
was
wasn't
different.
shocked.
Yeah.
This is different. This is different. This one was, in the presidential, I wasn't shocked because we kind of saw the numbers.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, well,
This was like out of nowhere.
he was never leading in the presidential.
And
Here,
Peter,
he was a
Peter,
front
you
runner
said
for.
that you fell asleep and then you woke up to, I guess, him conceding. How did you feel? Because you
Who's
literally went to sleep and was like, "Oh, all is good."
As I said, I was just heartbroken. I mean, and I was like, even shocked. Like, why did he concede so early? You know, because I thought the results they were displaying that night were only for the election day votes, not for the early votes or any mail-in ballots.
That's right.
So I thought, like, well, there were so many days of early voting. Like, how do you know you're not going to get an avalanche of votes? Because generally
So
speaking,
you know what? I think because
proactive.
they calculated like because you had to, I think, request an absentee vote or something like that. So I think if they took like the total number of requests and factored that in, like even if it's 80% of the unaccounted votes, like even if Andrew won all of them, he still wouldn't win. I think that's why they were so like, okay, like it's just mathematically impossible for him to win, even with those unaccounted votes trickling in.
I don't think it's mathematically impossible.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Are you sure, Shane? Are you sure?
I mean, yes, I'm sure. If every single person voted in second, then yes, I'm pretty sure.
But I mean, like
But
that's
not really. Yeah.
It's not realistic, but it's definitely. I mean, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about mathematically.
no, that's true. That's true.
I want to tell you something.
You're being very literal, Shane. Literal.
That's the
Yeah.
question.
But Eva and I, we were in the same car.
Yeah,
we
literally
were
the last.
that day, Tuesday, we got together. I think you joined us. What time you joined us? Was it 5 or 6? I forgot.
It was right after like the 5 p.m. shift.
Yeah, 5 p.m. shift.
Jay,
Yeah,
the Manhattan organizer, was making his rounds. in the whole
I was
site.
asked to drive some Yangon. So Ava was with us, Jake was with us, and so we went to drive around in Upper Manhattan, including the area. It's called what? What is it called?
Like Upper West Side, Lincoln Square,
89th Street. No, 189th Street. Their area.
Washington Heights.
Washington Heights.
So that was like that was our
so
last.
we were
site.
checking out if the Yangon is still there. There's people supposed to be there until 9 o'clock. So we were actually checking different station. My question was, so how do they know the results so fast? By 10 something, he already realized he's not going to win. Are they calculate that fast? Because the precinct did not close until 9. The precinct does not close until 9.
75% of the votes in by 10:30. And Yang was ranking Yang had about 12% of the vote.
Okay.
So you don't have to finish voting, but if he wasn't even close, I think that's what was so shocking to him.
Yeah.
He wasn't second or third.
All of us.
He was last, and he did his math and he knew that even with the absentee vote coming in, it wouldn't make a difference. So he just.
And Ching, because they're counting as the polls go on, so it's not like polls close and they start submitting at 9 p.m. I think as the day goes on, they continue counting and then so that's how they're able to process it so fast.
So it was funny. We got there, but by the time we got to the hotel, right after we parked really far away, and we walked in. It was almost 10 o'clock. So I had no idea. I did not know. I don't know if Eva knows. And so I was like, oh shit.
We were so pumped. We were so happy.
Yeah.
I
was like, let me have a drink because it's open bar, So and then I was asking a couple of young guys sitting there. They all look at me like they're so fucking depressed. They'll say, no.
Now it makes sense because I was
don't
like,
drink.
Why?
Yeah, they said don't drink because they already knew Andrew Yan's not winning, right?
How did they know?
They already knew. I did not know. You did not know. I was about to sacrifice my
the numbers
sobriety.
were coming in. Yeah, the numbers were coming in.
I was about to sacrifice my sobriety for fucking Andrew Yan, And then they're like, yeah, and they're like,
She did
"Don't
say
do
that.
it.
Like she's been sober for
Don't
like
do it,
40
Ching. Don't do it." So okay, I don't.
Ching,
do
can we talk? Can we talk about that for a moment?
Yeah.
So you didn't want to drink if he lost?
No, I was because I was that day Tuesday. It was my 140 days of not drinking.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I was trying not to drink. I was
Got
trying
it.
to be good. I
Got
have
it.
been trying to be good. So I was ready to break that record, meaning I will go to zero for Andrew
worth
Yan,
it.
you know?
Mm.
Yeah. But then these people look at me, they all look so depressed, you know, because they
So
know.
did you have a drink or no?
No, I did not do it because
Okay.
they asked me not to do it. This
Like, it's
young
not-
man said, "Don't do it."
I would have
Don't
done
do
it. I would have done it to celebrate the time that we had. with each
No,
other.
not
Well,
for,
she also
not
had
for
to drive home,
place,
so.
not for
I could do it
place.
now. I could do it now.
Shane would take no. Listen, Shane would take a drink. Shane would take a drink for no reason at all. So don't listen to him.
That's not true. I'm actually only drink socially now since COVID happened.
Yeah.
I didn't drink for months when COVID hit because my wife is a nurse, in the hospital, and I was like, I want my immune system to be like top, top of the field.
That's like all I did
Yeah.
during COVID. Like, what's your?
Oh, by the way, I want to say hello to some people here. Sorry, we don't mean to ignore you. Sea Bear 23, thank you. Vaughn, thank you. Sugar Sweet, Sugar Sweet. I assume is a she. Am I right? What is your name, Sugar? Sugar always watches my video and so sweet. Plus
Yeah, they
sweet.
seem great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we have a lot
I
of
love
people.
their joke about Matt can go live stream Andrew's vacation.
We have Daryl. Daryl D.
I love that.
I feel that Andrew Yang was playing into Adam's trap. I know he had to fight. Yeah, and then we have Nitro 1000. 1000? Do you mean like $1,000 UBI Nitro? So
Nitro.
Angela, who's
Who is
Angela?
Nitro? Who is
I think
Nitro?
it's Angelo from Arizona, right?
Oh yeah, okay. So anyway, yeah. So no, how are you feeling, Jackie? That day, at the party.
So I was in Flushing until like 8:30. So I was in Murray Hill, so it took a really long time for me to get back home to Chelsea
Yeah.
to change
Yeah.
and then go head over to, and then by the time I got there it was like 10:30 and I was refreshing, like looking at the results, and at one point, like in the subway, Eric Adams had 70,000 votes on Yang, and I know they had been putting me in Asian places for the past few weeks, and I know that I'm sorry, but the Asians just did not pull through for my man. Asians did not show up.
It's not customary like for them to vote. Like it's not, a habit.
If this wasn't going to push people to come out and vote in droves, like while we're getting under attack, while we're being spat on, while we're being, our grandmas and aunties are being stomped on, and we have like the first Asian presidential candidate running to be a city and be a mayor in our city, and we couldn't get out the votes. I just don't know if we'll even ever have such a transcendent mayoral candidate like Andrew. We might have another Asian politician trying to run for something, but I don't know if that person would be able to really just cross all racial lines and economic differences and different class levels as Andrew did. I mean, that's not all on them. We didn't do enough Asian outreach, but we also just thought that they'd come out and that was a very foolish move, because they didn't.
No, so can I just add that I actually spoke with a voter in Sunnyside, and this Korean American woman, she came to this country in 1966, and she said that morning that she did vote for Andrew, but there was virtually no outreach to the community, the Asian community in Sunnyside, And yeah, like she said, there were no signs posted, nothing. And she only heard him like on Korean radio like a few days ago or something, where she only found out very last minute and decided to vote for him, or she said something to that extent. And I think, I have a couple of comments. I think one of the things that we were up against was time. I mean, 6 months is not a lot of time to get
Five.
a huge 5 months. Yeah, I mean, basically, I mean, Eric Adams had his base. He has his constituents. He has things in place, and he had been running from before Andrew had come in. So, like for us to really get out the Asian vote, we need to really build ties with the community, I think. And, if we ever do this next time, or if we have, somebody who is Yang Yang running for mayor or whatever, or some, a really, really good Asian American candidate, we need to really just get to the communities, and people who speak their languages just reach out to community centers so that they can spread. So apparently the word was spreading, but it was spreading very slowly. And had we had like at least a spokesperson who was in touch with the community and the campaign, or something, some volunteer who could just reach out to them over and over again, I think it would have really, really helped. There were also people that I met like 5 minutes before polls closed, and they said, "Oh, I heard about the election today," and I asked them if they're citizens. Yes, but did you vote? Like, no. And then these two Korean women, and they said they live near College Point, so the poll station I was at was not it, and nothing we could do. But we could have, we could have reached out to these communities months in advance to make sure they're registered. Also met a lot of voters in Chinatown who claimed, I don't know, they claimed to be eligible to vote. Wanted to know if they could vote online. Like, if you're a first time voter, it's up to us to really educate them and to show them how to actually do it. Like, take them to the polls, and show them how to fill out a ballot. Because if you're an immigrant and you're a citizen, you're not. A lot of times we know that it's not a
Straightforward process.
yeah, it's no secret that Asian Americans vote in the least numbers. So it requires somebody who has good ties to the community to actually like coach them on how to be civically engaged, or how to
Blame
vote.
it all on Tusk. Like, this is what they're being paid for. Like, you should know these insights. And I think Yoon Jae, like, you're totally spot on. And it's like, it's not rocket science, right? Like,
Well, may I just interject
Yeah.
that like Gang Gang raised like $10 million so that this man could go on debate. We were repressed and not allowed to do our own outreach. Do you think we would be able to like just go to a Korean or a Chinese community like as our own individuals without approval from the strategist companies? No. Like, we couldn't do that. We needed communication. Just say, like, I even okay, sorry, this is like a little bit like off the subject, but I ran into Shane Gillis. Yes, the Shane Gillis the night before the election party.
Jackie, you're
primary?
chopping up a little. I don't know what it is.
no, yeah. It's because
Your
Yeah.
audio is clipping.
you got to talk slower.
Your
Okay,
internet is a
so,
little choppy. Yeah.
Okay,
Can you? Yeah.
so what I was saying is this might be a little bit like off subject, but I bumped into Shane Gillis the night before the elections. Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
The
I remember you tweet. Yep.
primaries. Yes, and I thought it would be like not only a good PR move just because I just expected us to be counting a lot longer, but I also just thought it would send such a great message. Like, Andrew can literally like transcend through previous, like bad interactions, and he forgives people. He could transcend to like conservative and liberal voters. Like, he has that skill if Shane Gillis can come to party. And I asked, the higher ups and the people that were connected to higher ups if I could like invite him, and he was like, I'll come. Like, why don't you message me? And I just never got a call back, or like I just never received any messages back. And in that same way, I'm not gonna say I specifically went to them and asked, may I go to this Korean community and, speak to them on behalf of Andrew. But I know there's been a lot of instances where that kind of happened, and we were waiting for approval and we never got it. And it was a little bit too late. We only had 2-3 weeks left in the campaign when some of us just decided to go rogue and do it anyway. And it wasn't, we didn't get like a pushback because we had already done it, but I also think it was because it was far too late in the game. But I realized that fact too late into the primary.
Yeah. There was a weird element where
we shouldn't do that though.
Yeah, we knew we were capable of a lot, and like there was a weird element where like is forgiveness? What do they say? Forgiveness over permission, like, and
Oh yeah.
Like, maybe we should have
ask for forgiveness later. Like
Yeah.
It's not normal for people to be able to do that, but I felt like there was some kind of like unspoken element, or like they kind of expected us to do it, but we were being so polite that we didn't. And like Jackie said, until I guess the last couple of weeks.
This is so interesting to hear because I was never politically involved until Andrew Yang, especially like this mayoral campaign. So for me, I was like, oh, I guess like this is just how it goes. But even I was like, oh, this feels really like shoddy. and like when I was like trying to volunteer and like the way the events were set up, and I was like, oh, like I guess this is just how it is. But I didn't know if I was just like it was just my inexperience. But hearing you guys who have been around for a long time doing this stuff, it's like, okay, no, like this was not intentional, but like, oh, it was designed to feel that way. And I
don't think we haven't really been around that much.
well, more politically involved because I feel like you guys are like super passionate about this. But for me, I was like, volunteering when I could, and I was like, oh, this feels really like not professional. I was like, I don't know, it was just bizarre. But it's reaffirming that you guys were like, oh no, like there was a clear disconnect between the official whatever. I didn't even know consultants were hired, to be honest. Like, but apparently there's like a deliberate break in communication between the volunteers and field staff and official campaign staff.
I don't
want to say it's deliberate. I don't want to say it's deliberate, but it was met with silence, so it felt gaslight.
You're very kind to me. I'm like, come on, like it can't be that.
Yeah. So can we start from all very beginning? I would like to have each one of us to do a short intro, meaning who you are, what profession you're in, and how did you get into this whole Yangan thing. Try to talk about the whole thing within 2 minutes. Okay, let's start with Peter, please.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Peter Manko. I'm a math professor at CUNY. How did I get involved with Yang Gang? It started even with the presidential campaign. When he ran for president, that's how I met Ching and the rest of you. I mean, most of you here, but yeah. So basically, when he announced he's running for mayor, I was thrilled. I was excited. I went out a few times for, certain events. And again, yeah, like I was really disturbed when I saw him go down in the polls. I was like thinking, something just is not right. Like, how do you lose half of your support, And I don't think it was just tweets. I don't think it was, referring to certain places as bodegas. I think that was all exaggerated, So I just felt really like there was just something weird going on. And to hear about this consulting firm, not activating the Asian vote in New York, I'm like, how could you not do this or not plan this? Like, this is just something I didn't really understand yet. But
Are you done?
Yeah.
We're supposed to introduce ourselves, not to tell
Well,
how we're not happy with it. All right, so yeah. How about Jackie? Your turn, please.
Hey, so I live in New York City. I am a city servant, so technically De Blasio is my boss. Um, I have also lived in rural Alaska, so I know how basic income works. I've benefited from it myself.
Woo!
Basic income, super UBI, and I also just like, am not going to, be done with being like politically activated just because Andrew needs a little break. I think UBI is amazing. I'm like a living testament to that. I I am not a 2020 Yang Gang. I was deep in rural Alaska, so I didn't really like follow. But I got here. I landed here. I experienced a lot of like terrible like terrible acts of hate towards people like me of Asian descent as early as like last summer in August. And I knew it was happening, and there was something that happened at work that was really traumatizing, but my workplace would not back me up. And I went through this whole like cycle of, like being the victim and needing help, but being gaslighted and being tossed around by all the different, organizations that claim to help victims, including NYPD. A few days later after my event, that grandmother in South Brooklyn, remember, she got lit on fire. Um, in After that happened, oh, you guys can't hear me.
You're very
We
spotty.
get you now, but we lost you for 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, a few days after that happened, that grandma that lives in South Chinese grandma that lives in South Brooklyn, who um got like lit on fire. They put her on fire and like slapped her across the face. That happened, and then shortly after that, the NYPD Asian Hate Crime Unit was formed. But I still didn't feel safe. And then in March or April, like all the those women in in Atlanta were shot, and I had been watching Andrew's race. Um, I think he started in January, right? But and I was always thinking about getting involved, but seeing him making that impassioned speech after the murder of the murders of those Asian women in Atlanta happened, that made me really fired up and just needing to get involved. So, and then now here I am with all you awesome people.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jackie. I met Jackie I would say 2 weeks ago, right? With Ching, and we were canvassing in Queens. Wonderful. All right. So Queens, Shane's your turn, please.
Okay. Yeah, I am from Queens. I've been here a couple years. I grew up in Washington Heights, then high school and college in Rhode Island. I'm an English major with an MBA with no career path. I'm a lot. I describe myself as a lost puppy with my career. I've been in healthcare/finance for a while, and then I've been a stay-at-home dad for the last 5 years now. My daughter just graduated pre-K. Yeah.
Queen!
Beautiful.
So now I get to. Now I don't have to wake up at 7:30 for 3 months. It's like I'm a kid again. It's like summertime. Woo! So I'm gonna be launching my own, unpausing my own live stream that I do sometimes late night with some cool cats. And I'm gonna be advocating for UBI, and I'm gonna be continuing to network with all of these wonderful people in New York City, the Yang Gang, that we've gotten to know, and like I didn't really get to speak to, how I felt about Andrew losing, but I think many of us, I think Ching, you were one of the first people who I heard it from, I think, but like we were not going to be upset. Like if he loses, at least he doesn't have to be mayor of New York, because that's a horrible job. So that was always in the back of my head. Um, we know what the media did. We know what the establishment does, and we know that the campaign was not perfect. Tusk was certainly not perfect. So I'm okay with it. I mean, maybe I have not. Maybe I'm still processing it. Maybe it hasn't hit me. But like when I think about it, and I'm about to get upset. Like, I think it's more of the competitive part of me, more than actually being upset about the result. Because I think that I don't know. Some people were theorizing maybe Yang won. I mean, this is kind of crazy, but like maybe Yang. There have been comments by him and his wife that they really didn't want to win. They didn't want to be mayor or like he didn't. We know he didn't want to be president. He always like says that, but maybe he just wanted to get us all activated. Who knows?
Oh my God! Don't say that.
But we're activated now.
I think he worked so hard. You can tell he really wanted.
That's some tinfoil theory.
Yeah. Now it's your turn. Now.
Yeah. So you want me to introduce myself?
Yes,
I do
please.
it every time. I think everybody knows me already.
Yeah.
But
No, not every. We have 32 people waiting, watching us.
there's 32 people that don't know me. Okay. For the people that don't know me, the people that don't know me, I am a graphic designer, photographer located in Flushing, Queens, and I have been Yang Gang since 2019, when Andrew Yang first hit the Democratic presidential stage at the first debate for the Democratic debates, and I'm actually a Republican who switched to Democrat to vote for Andrew Yang. And I don't consider myself really too much of a Republican. I don't consider myself a Democrat. I'm somewhere like in the middle, I guess. I still have conservative values uh, and conservative way of thinking, but I also have liberal ways of thinking. I'm very open-minded I understand basically that we live in a country that is free for all of us, and we should be able to all enjoy the freedoms that this country provides. But anyway, just to make a long story short, I have I was never really involved with the Yang 2020 campaign at any capacity. I was only a I only did donations and bought merch. That's all I ever did, and told everybody and their mother about Andrew Yang during the presidential run. But as soon as Andrew Yang decided to suspend his campaign in 2020, I mean, yes, in 2020, that's when I became active. I realized that I need to do more, and I have the talent to do more, and so I started doing uh, using my skills to benefit UBI candidates like Jonathan Herzog, Blair Walsingham, Badrun Khan, and Erica Rhodes as well. I worked on her campaign for a little while. And then luckily sometime in December of last year, I got a phone call from some of my friends that I worked at with the Herzog campaign, and we started talking about, hey, Andrew might run for mayor, and we got to start building or getting the stage ready for him. So when he finally announces, everything's ready, already set for him. I'll be honest with you, in my purest, honest opinion, um, I think that Andrew could have ran this campaign with nothing but the Yang Gang, and he would have won. I don't think he needed, to be honest with you, I don't think he needed Tusk strategies. I'm gonna just say it blatantly like that. Um, I think the Yang Gang is more than capable. We're smart. We're innovative. We have all the values that Andrew Yang presents himself as having. We we I don't know. It's just I just really think that that in terms of this campaign, there was so much potential, so many things we could have done that we didn't do, and just I just don't see I'll say it this way. I'm gonna just say it. The Yang Gang did not lose this election. All right, the Yang Gang did not lose this election. The campaign lost this election. That's it. That's all I'm
Well,
gonna say. I'm sorry,
well
but
said.
yeah,
Well
that's
said.
it.
Yeah. So Brendan in the audience was asking question to everyone. Looking back, at what point do you think things went wrong? I guess that says a lot, Brendan. If you're there, I personally do not know much about this and that. I'm just for one thing is my name is Ching Juhl. I got involved with Andrew Yan's campaign 2020 in May of 2019. It was just coincidence. Like someone asked me to go watch a rally in Washington State Square Park. I went. So the rest is history. So for those of you who do not know 2020 campaign, I actually follow the Yangan and the campaign for a whole year, and I made a documentary. It's called My Yangan Diary. Right now, this film is available on Vimeo on demand. Now, interestingly, I wanted to use that film to promote Andrew Yan. I asked the campaign and Andrew Yan, say, can you watch my movie? Because when my film was watched by Canadian Toronto Documentary Film Festival, they actually made a video talking about how great this film is, how much they did not know who Andrew Yan was. After they
Yes.
watched the movie, they understand Andrew Yan. So it was like a really heartwarming to know my film had some kind of impact for people who do not know who he was. But even because right now he was running for New York city mayor, so the campaign does not want to mix the mayor running with 2020, which I understand. Yeah, I understand. So, but still, it was a very interesting battle. I keep battling them and keep vocal with very high vocal about them.
Yep.
And about a week before 22, I actually, out of desperation, I put the film on my YouTube channel openly so everybody can see it. So hopefully, I was thinking I was making an impact that people can watch it. The I basically sacrificed myself because I should not do that for distribution point of view. There's a full distributors want to buy my film, our film, I call my Yangan Diary. So they want to buy our film. So I was basically tell them, I'm just going to let the film on YouTube so it can have some kind of impact. So I don't know how much impact I had, but so long story short, I was a long-term supporter of Andrew Yan, and because from January to March for 3 months, I did not come out to do too much work. Not like you guys, some of you guys. I was a very afraid of COVID actually. So I didn't come out. I did a lot of other stuff, but I didn't come out. So only after I had my 2 shots, which is in April, then I started come out, do more work, and made more shooting. So I'm gonna examine my footage now and to see what kind of film I could present. It's kind of combining the 2020 and now the mayoral race. It will be a very different film though, but yeah. So I don't really know, but I'm just going to try my best to tell a story in a positive way. Of course, some people say you should name it called Two-Time Losers. Two-time losers, but
I
that's not
think
very nice.
I think you could keep it real, Jing.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you could keep it real because think I think it was so apparent that it was almost robotic how peppy Andrew was like all the time. And people that were following Andrew for a long time could tell like somebody else is tweeting for him. You know what I
I
mean?
see. I
And
see.
and I don't know if you guys like Crystal Ball and Cigar, but they just did a what's the podcast called? The new one, Breaking Point, Tipping Point, but they
Breaking
did
Point.
one. They
Breaking
covered
Point.
Andrew.
Oh.
Breaking Point, and they covered Andrew today, and they were basically like everything that Andrew Yang embodied was robbed of it, like in the mayoral campaign. Um, his doggedness, his ability to go face to face with the status quo, with the establishment. And I hate to say this, but like, I know that's not who he is. Andrew is not a tourist to New York City, but after a while, it was just like, are you just gonna eat the entire time? Like, all he did was eat, and it was really important in the beginning days of businesses reopening. But after a while, it was really just like perpetuating like that comical thing where it's like Asians taking photos of their food, Asians eating out all the time. Like they make fun of us for taking pictures of our food and stuff. Like, yeah, after like months of it, and me asking like, hey, can you focus on like maybe the arts and the music scene? Because the arts and the museum and like the performing arts, like those guys aren't coming back yet, and they could really use your support so that people know you care about the arts in New York City. And that never came. And he kept eating, and I know that wasn't
He did-
Andrew. That wasn't
Oh my
Andrew.
God.
That was a direction. That was
He
like a
didn't even get
milquetoast
fat.
direction.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That was a milquetoast direction from the firm, So I'm
I see.
sorry. I feel like I'm like saying too much, but I'm
It's okay.
really trying to keep it tapered down,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
just
No,
addressing
it's
stuff
okay.
that was very plain to see on people
No,
with
it's
Instagram
okay.
and Twitter. You know what I mean?
No, it is important to hear your voice, and I do not know a lot of things, so I sometimes tended to live in the cocoon, like just to believe what I need to believe. I don't see everything, so it's very important for me to, if I need to do a good documentary, there's a lot of research I have to do, and I need to dig into so many facts. But then
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
listen. Okay, so here's the thing. We have to remember Twitter is not real life, and not everybody in New York has Twitter. Most people do not have Twitter, and that's number one. So, I mean, I understand the whole cooking thing. Me personally, if you know me, I have no issues with the pictures of food. Um, that's a joke, by the way. You can laugh, but anyway, but what I'm gonna say is, um, that I forgot my point. I'm sorry. Go ahead. When I remember, I'll come back.
I'm not trying to be negative. It's just that like
Yeah,
the food thing, and you don't have to have Twitter, but almost everyone has Facebook or Instagram,
yeah,
and the same
yeah,
photos
yeah,
were going out. And
yeah.
there was a specific like request. I'm sure I wasn't the first one to talk about like the arts or like whatever,
Hmm.
anything about New York City that isn't just food. I mean, actually, he covered sports because he loves his Knicks and Nets,
Yeah,
But I think it could have been just like a little more well-rounded, given the fact that like, not that it's true, but they kept making him out to be a tourist, and that was wrong on them. There was a disgusting fixation by the media on literally what
that
Andrew
makes sense.
did, like Andrew, how he walked, how like where he got off to go home, like all this like weird crap, which was crazy because he could not get enough or garner enough like like media coverage on his 2020 run just a year ago, and now they're like, oh, like that's your favorite subway station? Oh, you don't know how to get to the Bronx? Like, it's like, wow, like thanks for the unwanted scrutiny. Could have used this last year,
Yeah, I think people
So
people like
not
a
all
villain.
Andrew.
People like a scapegoat, and now that Trump doesn't have Twitter, I think a lot of people just like, they're like, oh, if the media is going to tell me that Yang is the new Trump, great. Now I'm going to believe it. And they just ran with it.
Hey, I'm sorry, you guys. I have to go right now, but thank you so much. This was so fun. This was really therapeutic for me as well. It's just like, so see you guys, everybody. I love you, Yang Gang, and thank you so much for everyone listening. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
All right, take care.
Bye, Jackie.
All right, so I have to deal with some crisis in my house.
Okay.
So I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I was just wondering.
We can't hear you, Ching.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so what happened with Yunjie and also Eva? All right, so how
have
about
to-
it's kind of late. Should we say something positive? What did this whole experience bring us? Shall we start with now?
Yeah. So at the party, I told Andrew, I said, "Hey Andrew, if I got anything out of this campaign, it's if I learned anything, it's Yangangza."
That's funny. Yang means Andrew Yang in
It
Chinese.
means Andrew Yang in Chinese, and he cracked up laughing. But yeah, listen, it's been a fun ride. I got to meet a lot of great people. I got to spend more time with Andrew Yang than I ever thought I ever would, which was awesome. We all got to meet Andrew Yang multiple times, and so it's yeah, it's nice, to be able to go to a place. Andrew Yang is there, and then he comes up to you and he's like, "Hey, no," you know what I mean? Like he knows you by name, and but listen, I think I've made a lot of friendships that will last a long time, and yeah, I don't know what's next or what's next for the future in terms of the Yang Gang. I know that there's a politician that's trying to reach out to us, but I don't think that's going to be a wise route because this person's not. He doesn't like UBI, but he's trying to be friendly with the Yang Gang so that he can get those supporters. So just guys beware, about joining. I know that I was kidding. I was kidding on Twitter about possibly joining Curtis Lewa's team or whatever, but that was a joke. I would be very, very careful about just jumping that route right away. I don't know who the next mayor is, and listen, we live in New York City, and at the end of the day, whoever the leader is, um, doesn't really affect our lives directly 100%. It's a small percentage. Um, we still have to find our jobs. We still have to go to work. We still have to pay our own bills. And so, we just gotta, continue to be hopeful that, the future will be bright and God will continue to provide all of our needs.
Thank you, Nell. Yeah, you worked so hard, and yeah, they're very lucky to have you, and it's unconditional love, and yeah, we get a lot out of it by give, I guess. So,
Hmm.
Shane, it's your turn.
Something positive about the experience?
Yeah.
I think, we've already touched on it, but the people, getting to know the people, and, like I started working hard on networking within Yang Gang pretty immediately after the presidential run ended, all through Twitter. I helped with Badrun Khan. I ran her Twitter account for her congressional run against AOC, and I built my Twitter account at the same time as I built hers up. And that was great. And I get to know so many new people, doing streams, just like trying to catch up with the information. It took me a while, but just starting to ask questions, try to understand the history of what happened with the campaign and with Yang Gang. There's all these, and then I like to be a uniter, and there's all these different fractures, different groups, and I just want to keep our eye on the prize, which is to create that humanity first, pragmatic, logical, non-ideological way of thinking, way of approaching politics. And I think the people that I met in New York City during this run, it made it that much more sweet. The ranks have grown that much more. My network has grown that much more. All of ours has. And, I'm very excited. So I have no regrets about the campaign. No regrets. And I think I might even be turning the tide. I think I might be happy that he lost. I think I'm happy that he lost.
Yeah, no, listen, we made a lot of great friends. Raphael, I see you, brother. He's in the comments, by the way.
Yes, Rafa.
Rafa is amazing. Listen, I've never had more fun canvassing than with Raf.
Where is
out
Raphael?
there? We Raphael.
Which one?
He's in the comments. His name is Raphael in the comments, literally.
Oh, okay. Let me see. I didn't see it. I didn't see Raphael. Oh, Raphael, there we go. Hi.
Raphael,
I see Raphael now. Yeah.
So Raphael is he's awesome. He, when you see it's funny. I told Raph, when you see that his picture, he's totally different when you see him in person.
I know Raphael. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah. So in a picture, you kind of get these preconceived notions of who a person is, but Raphael is a true professional. He knows his stuff. I already knew by interacting with him that he was very smart. He's a top-notch guy, man. Raph, Shane, just kidding, Shane. I love you, bro. Shane is amazing. Out there, always on a skateboard and working hard. We all worked very hard, man. And that's the thing. And just like Shane said, there's no regrets. There's no regrets about what we did. We just regret that we couldn't do more. I think,
right?
Because we had the potential to do more. We weren't given the opportunity to do more. But it's okay. I'm still in good spirits.
Peter, it's your turn. Say something positive.
Yeah, I think you guys summed it up nicely. If there is any other run in the future, and who knows, but the thing is, if there is, we have to do what we feel is right. Because maybe we're the true experts. We're the ones who know what to do, what communities to reach out to, stuff like that, being New Yorkers ourselves. But it hurts. But the thing is, it brings us closer, and we have to stay strong, stay positive, not lose hope of the things we care about as far as issues go. We just have to stay politically active, I guess, because that's the only way we're going to get what we want. And the good thing, maybe, although Ching, I don't know, since you gave up drinking, maybe it's time to pull out another bottle sometimes,
and feel the burn, Peter.
Feel the burn, baby.
I was waiting for that. That's my favorite part of the whole documentary. When Peter says, "This is how the Yang Gang feels the burn."
Yeah. Hey, you guys. By the way, my YouTube channel, as of today, like before the show, I was like, let's see. I'm looking right now. I only need 3 more subscription. Come on, you guys. I have 34 people here. Subscribe my YouTube channel. I will reach 5,000 subscribers.
Yes, that's a milestone.
Wow.
Subscribe. Okay. Anyway, so no, that's not the reason I called this meeting. I just thought we need to face to face. We need to talk about, because I left Tuesday evening. I was exhausted. I didn't have much sort of a talk, just like a pep talk. Oh, how you feel? Oh, there's like I'm very people just drinking. People are not really telling feel the true feeling. And then the next day, I was incredible. I'm not being negative, okay? I was so tired because I have not been sleeping very much. I just basically next day I slept here and there, like in the middle of the day. I was so exhausted. I think it is a emotional exhausted, and also physically exhausted. I've been out, for instance, on Sunday on the street for many, many hours. It was really, really hot, 90 some degrees. We canvassed in Chinatown. And yeah, I told myself I can handle that, because February the 11th, I still remember that day, I was in New Hampshire, um, holding my camera to do a live streaming of Andrew Yang making a speech. And then in the middle of it, he suspended his campaign, which to me was like a shock, because I did not have any preparation then. So this time I was listening to him talking and talking and talking, sounded really somber. And I knew it's not a good news. It's not a victory talk. But before that, I was helping the campaign, driving people around. In the morning, I took my son to vote, and I even made a short video. It's like I breed not only a violist, I bred a Andrew Yang voter. I mean, he voted for Andrew Yang, so I feel very positive and committed. So overall, I think I do not regret what I have done. I met so many people like you guys. It's just amazing. I would never have met you. And now you also helped me to design my documentary cover. So my Yangon Diary, the cover with my fat face was Nels design.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I did it that way. Listen, it's my Yang Gang Diary, so we want to know who's mine. Who's mine?
Yeah.
You are mine.
Yeah. And also you gave me great ideas, about talking more about who am I and who was I, and then Peter also helped me to watch the film, cut a lot of stuff out, and just did a lot of work, so it's our film. I always say it's our film. So you guys watch my film, okay? Go into the link on Vimeo on demand. Yeah, go to Vimeo on demand and check it. Yeah, I think you're gonna bleed now more. Okay, it used to be free, now it's not free anymore. But anyway, so yeah, but I think I'm not going to be. I do feel like somebody died, though. I feel like I went into a funeral or something.
Wait, can I interject? It's Jackie.
yeah.
Jackie did not mention this, but well, first there was definitely a feeling of mourning, right? Everybody was giving each other hugs when we got to the rooftop. But Jackie wore black lipstick, and I guessed correctly. I asked her. It was with the express purpose of fitting that mood.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even realize. Yeah, she was very dressed up. I remember she dressed up. So I felt kind of numb yesterday. I slept a lot. Today, I don't know. I started to just organize this meeting because I thought we need to meet. So I started to contact all of you, and I'm glad we're here. We need some kind of talk, right? We're our own therapist.
well, Ching, thank you for having us. We do need to keep communicating. We're a Yang Gang family right now. That's forever. That's not going to change.
Are we rapping or no?
I don't know. We linger on. Who else wants to come in?
I think Nitro said they wanted to, and Rafa.
Okay, let them come. You know
Rafa
what?
didn't say anything, but I would like
Okay.
Rafa to come on if you.
Okay, let me give the link. Let me give the link. So yeah,
Just
keep
un-
talking.
just put the link in the thing, and
I
maybe we'll
will.
just
Okay.
And
Okay.
while we still have our viewers, I don't know how many are still here. If you
Here's
could,
the link. We can have on stage 10 person. So whoever wants to come, you can come. We're open. Our door is open like a clubhouse. So that's the link. I put it there. If you want to come, you just click on it.
38. It's growing. Just 38. Oh no, 30,
Woo!
31. Sorry, 31.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I think I'm going to resume my podcast tonight, late night.
Oh,
I don't have a time. Maybe
Okay.
maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 2:30.
Give us a link. Give us a
Yeah,
link.
I can't figure out how to get it into the comments. But if
What?
I'll put it in the
No.
private. I think it's my
No,
my
private.
computer.
Yeah, you should be private. Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
listen. Follow
Wait.
Shane on on Twitter, and Shane is gonna put a link on his Twitter so you can see it. How about that?
Yeah, that's fine. My Twitter is Wash Heights 44. I dropped the link in the private chat. But if you just go into YouTube and search my name, there's one Irish politician and then there's me. It looks like it's a picture
Can you
of
just tell me what
George
is
Washington
your?
Bridge.
Can you tell me what is your YouTube channel called?
It was called Washington Heights, but when we started to use Google Meet for the campaign, so I changed it. I had to change my name. So right now it's just called Shane Moynihan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if you Google Shane Moynihan, you should be able to find it. If you can't find it, look at that. Google Shane Moynihan Spanish wine, because that's one of my episode names.
Spanish wine. That's hilarious.
What's that?
Shane Moynihan. Shane Moynihan.
American Job Secretary.
And
American
make
Jobs.
sure
That's
support this lady. Support this lady. Erica
Diane.
Rhodes.
Okay. Oh, Daniel is there. Hi, Daniel. Yeah. So who wants to come up? So I think she wants to leave soon, and I am open. I can have the room open. Nell, how about you? Who wants
What about
to come
me?
up?
I'm here for. I'm here
Oh, okay. Who wants to come up? I don't see anybody's coming. So I
Yeah,
just
nobody's going into the live stream.
Yeah, I gave you the stream right now. Okay, right here. Woo,
Oh.
Angelo! Who is Angelo?
Who we got? Angelo.
Angelo.
Angelo's here?
No
Yeah.
way.
Hi, Angelo.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have your audio. Hi, Angelo. Are you there? You're frozen.
Video's frozen.
Yeah, video's frozen. So
that's
this
Angelo.
is a link. You can come on if you want to. Okay, we can only have 10 person on stage. So
That's
if it's
Angelo
more-
from Arizona.
I don't know. Hi, Angelo. Are you frozen?
How's it going?
Hey,
yeah,
good. How are you?
Yeah, I was breaking up there for a second.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
man.
So tell me, do I know you, Angelo? Uh-oh. Who is Angelo? Tell me.
Yeah,
Hi, Angelo.
right here.
Yeah, Angelo, tell me a little bit about you. Hello?
Yeah, I'm
Hello?
hearing the audio breaking up pretty bad.
Oh, I can hear you. I can't hear you.
Yeah, it sounded good actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I noticed the internet's breaking up kind of badly here.
Hmm.
Can you
Where are
guys
you?
hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Or is it
We can
still
hear you.
coming in and out?
We can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me. All right, cool.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, I'm still hearing you guys breaking up a little bit, but I can more or less understand what you're saying now.
I can hear you fine. Are you in a place with bad internet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Internet's
it's called
not good?
Arizona.
Oh, maybe you're in the rural area, right?
I see.
Rural area.
Guys, I'm sorry. Listen,
no, I live in the second
have
largest
to, I
city
have to
in
get going.
Arizona.
Okay. All right. You have to go.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to go, guys. I'm sorry. Angelo, it's good seeing you, But I really have to go. It's 9:40 p.m. in the Eastern, and
Yeah.
I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. I gotta go upstairs.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
guys. It was nice. It was nice
Good
being
seeing you,
here.
Mel.
Thank you,
See you,
Ching.
Mel.
Subscribe to Shane Moynihan and subscribe to Jules Ching Jules channel. All right, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Bye.
See you on Twitter.
Bye now.
All right.
Bye. Okay. All right. So, anybody else want to come up? So Angelo's connection's not too great, I guess. Right, Angelo? Hello?
No, it's
Yeah.
yeah, but I can still more or less hear you guys. I don't know if you can hear me okay.
Yeah. We can hear you.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So
So, yeah,
tell us a little bit. What's your situation, Angelo?
Yeah, what have you been up to?
Well, I finally retired from the board at Humanity First Movement. Mostly been trying to work on getting my business off the ground, and just got my second COVID shot finally. So
Daniel is here.
working on that.
Daniel!
I'm feeling it today though.
Hello.
But
Hi, Daniel.
you know,
Sorry.
it hit pretty hard to see.
You're interrupting him. He's trying to talk.
Yeah, it hit pretty hard to see
Hi.
Yang concede a second time.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. That's why somebody already gave me a title of my film called 2 Times Losers. It's terrible. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
I'm good. I'm getting feedback because I have you on the other. I still have you on the YouTube, so I gotta turn that off.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Where are you now? Okay. Oh, yeah. So you're
Okay, I'm set now.
oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I'm in Texas right now
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah.
that's where I have family.
Where were you on Tuesday night?
And well, I decided to fly back because I was there Monday, and I was there Monday in New York, and it was exhausting doing all that walking and just being there. And I didn't have a hotel, so I was going to possibly like sleep on the train or something and just work through it the next day and then take the plane and sleep. But no, I was like, I can't. I did that for the campaign, for the presidential campaign. I would just show up for a day and then fly back, sleep on the plane so I could save on hotels and things like that. I just couldn't do it. I'm like getting too old for this crap. So I just went ahead and I went back, and I was like, for me, I was like, I've done plenty. I can just I can take this one, see what happens.
Yeah.
And that's the same theme I felt like in the presidential campaign. There's so much lost opportunity. As soon as Yang got some money, he started buying the corporate people instead of, and he said, as soon as we have enough funding, we're gonna put gasoline on what is the Yang Gang, and instead he put gasoline on what is the corporate consultants, and it just fizzled out. So yeah, it is what it is, but you're right, Yang Gang goes on.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So you were already at home on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I was wiped out. I got home and I was waiting for Matt
live streaming.
Yeah, Matt's live stream. I want to say Matt and Zach, but obviously it's
Yeah.
Matt Skidmore now. So Matt's live stream, I was waiting for that and finally got that, and I was like, oh yeah, figures. Because even I sent an email to the Yang campaign saying, the Yang Gang Creator Network, like Yu Chang, is underutilized, and there are so many underutilized people in the Yang Gang that I'm just like, why are they not activating, no more people for this. But I sent an email, it was crickets, and I saw Andrew, but I only get like I'm doing my filming, and I only get like a few minutes with Andrew to even say anything. So it's not like I could like press him on,
Yeah.
what's going on or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought maybe with my credentials I can get in, but
Yeah.
no, just didn't happen. So, hi.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting that they do looks like have a team of people always following him, creating these videos about him.
Yeah, I'm
They
like,
post.
and
Yeah.
they do like commercials, but I'm like, where are the like daily videos that people? There's a hunger for that, and the other thing, I talked to the campaign early on. I said, please do not spend money on TV, social media. And I said, if you get anyone to do your media, choose Gary Vaynerchuk and not anyone else.
Who's
And
Gary Vaynerchuk?
he's a New Yorker.
Okay. Okay.
He's a New Yorker media guy who is widely popular and could have brought a lot of attention
Oh,
to
I know
Andrew.
Gary. He the one also video for income movement? Is that the
I,
Gary?
I don't think so.
Okay.
He's way out of there. He does like media for Nike. He does media
Oh,
for
okay. Okay.
Coca-Cola.
Oh, okay.
He's
Okay.
like a big time. He does
Oh,
sports. He's
okay.
big time media guy. But
Okay.
he's all about the social media. He knows how to use social media.
I see.
And I'm like, if you're gonna choose anybody, choose a Gary Vaynerchuk
Yeah.
instead of whatever they're doing. And it would have been a great opportunity to team up with them here in New York, because he's in I visited there. It's like south of Hell's Kitchen.
Maybe he's very expensive.
I'm sure anybody's expensive,
No,
but
I am cheap. I'm not expensive.
well,
They
yeah.
never really utilize me.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
did everything on my own,
Yeah, that's the thing. A Gary Vaynerchuk would have spread it down to all the creators, because he knows the power of like individual creators. So that's what they need, is somebody who will like work with activate the independent people, fund us to do more and do things that are better. That's my whole point. It's
Yeah.
like don't waste it on corporate, whatever corporate people. They're just siphoning off the money, and they're not that they don't penetrate the market that well. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just common. It's marketing mistakes. It's like businesses make these mistakes anyway, where they spend like tons of money on TV ads.
Yeah.
And TV's not where it's at anymore. Everybody
Yeah.
knows that.
They made again, I just said that earlier, okay? They made a mistake of not using my film as one of the tool.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I
Absolutely.
approached them in January. I said, here, I did a YouTube channel viewing, 700 people view the film. And then I sent the movie to Andrew Yan. I sent it to his thing. And they came back, said, oh, this is about 2020. They don't want to mix with 2020. No, bullshit.
Yeah,
my film is not about Andrew Yan. I follow
It's
him.
about the Yang Gang.
It's about Yang Gang.
The movement, yeah.
Yeah, and through the Yang Gang, you really tell why we like him. So it's an indirect way of saying how great Andrew Yan was.
Yeah, well, this is the message Andrew had like during the campaign. Everybody is used to saying no, why we can't do that, right? And he was going to be the one who had new ideas and had the thought to tell you why you can do it and how to get it done, right? Well, he didn't do that in his campaign, so when you get corporate, elitist people, they're just going to tell you why you can't do things, why this isn't going to work, or why that isn't going to work. They're not going to like explore these ideas and activate the small people and help them bring them up. But
yeah.
And that's what you needed. That's what there's just so many people that they could have brought to New York that were creators would have loved to like put all kinds of things out on the internet, and you know that's the way people access information, through the internet. It's pretty simple nowadays. If you want a big impact, you create more content.
Right.
So that's all they need to do. But instead of creating more content, they were doing these big commercial pieces that cost a lot of money, and they're like, it's focused, but it doesn't create a lot. It just creates very little, and it doesn't have as much impact. So
Yeah, that's too bad.
that's my professional business.
Yeah, and you were here what, like this week? You also were here 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
3 weeks ago I was like, okay, time is running out. I got to get to New York. I got to see what impact I can make. And I was here for a couple days. I did some videos. I tried to reach out to the Yang team. I tried to talk to anybody I could, but I'm just one person, and I got my own stuff going on like many of you do. And it's like, if they're not interested, we just everybody loses steam. If you don't want us, well, like Ching would say, fuck you, we'll go do our own thing. Right? You made your own movie. That's how the gang is. We're a bunch of entrepreneurs who are like, hey, if you don't want us, we got our own ideas and motivations. We'll go do our own thing. And that's just how we operate. That's how we do it.
Yeah, I wish I did it earlier, like I finally let the film on YouTube for free. And before that I could not, because the distributors would not let me.
Well, you can only do what you can do. If the Yang campaign came to you, they knew that you were a filmmaker. If they would have came to you before you even announced and said, hey, we're going to announce, we know you're a local content creator, how can we support you? And you could have said, oh, I have this movie coming out, and they would have said great. And if they would have worked with you, you could have got it out even in a bigger way and had a bigger impact. But they're like corporate morons. But
let me tell you something, Daniel. I try not to be negative, okay? But I got news from the Yang campaign on January the 13th. That's Andrew Yan's birthday. Says they told me, actually, they nicely told me, says tomorrow the 14th, there's something going on in this location.
Oh, sure.
Right? You can go there, but you cannot film.
Yeah. Yeah.
They told me I can't film. So I went there. I got there at like 9:30, right? The event's 10. There was so many cameras there, big cameras. I was like, shit, how can I, what can I film?
Yeah, you do your own thing.
So I started.
And props to you. That's the Yang Gang way. And
that's the day he announced he's going to be, running for mayor. Why would he not? Why would they not letting me film? They knew I'm a media person.
It's crazy, back ass word stuff, but that's the whole point. Like Andrew talked about how the elite class is leading us down the wrong path, and then he gets out of his rut of not being in the elite class, whatever, and then he goes right into the elite class. He's complete. He knows, he identified the problem, and then he clasps onto the problem. It's like, he's not listening to his own advice sometimes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so.
Oh well, I guess I do not regret overall what I have done for Andrew Yan and the movement.
Yeah. No,
I
great.
feel I am a better person than 2 years ago. overall.
Oh,
I
yeah.
learned how to give. I learned how to do volunteer works, which I did not know before. I would like to do more. Yeah, I would like to make some kind of impact, not just I'm an artist, I'm a musician, a violist, and teacher, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and I also do regret that I witnessed my community, which is Asian community, they're now big on volunteering for political cause.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do.
Well, I
Maybe.
mean, sometimes it takes generations to, form a community habit like that. So I
Yeah.
mean, Andrew Yang is breaking that habit and getting people, in that direction. So props to
Yeah.
him. But
Yeah.
you know,
So
but
I wanted to. Yeah, I
we
wanted.
can
Sorry.
complain, but yeah,
No,
I
we
mean,
complain. I think
and
it's
there's
natural to complain.
yeah, there's plenty to complain about, but
Yeah.
obviously, we all like. I had my own project that just kind of aligned with Andrew, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm happy to help. But my
Yeah.
whole focus has always been, my nonprofit in the first place. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to just stay focused there.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention there's some people made really nice comments out there, and Peter, can you see it?
I can see the comments.
Would you
Which
pick
comment
some?
are you?
I don't know. I don't. We were like a scatter around, uh, uh,
Well,
featuring
here's
them.
one, Lila 52 from Mindful Skeptics. But
Oh yeah.
look what he wrote.
Boy.
This campaign leaned into the moderate garbage. Which is what Daniel was just
Yeah.
saying, right?
Boyce was just in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We spent some time together. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to catch up, boys. So hopefully we'll do
Yeah.
that soon.
Hey boys, great job campaigning. Someone said to you, Sea Bear. Yeah. So yeah, and then Sea Bear says something. Convention through TV is a high though. I worked in broadcast media and strongly strangely enough, the conventions tended to be higher than broadcast. Do you know what that means? Convention.
Oh,
Sea
no,
Bear.
no. At line 50? See, Bear?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he says conversion.
Conversion.
Yeah, the
Conversion
conversion.
to TV is high, though. I worked in broadcast media, and strangely enough, the conversions tend to be higher on broadcast.
What does that mean?
That
Conversion.
conversion is you're converting somebody who's watching your content into like a paid person or a fan, or like you're trying to convert anybody who sees your video into a subscriber. So that's conversion.
Okay.
So that might be true, but it's social media now that's gets the most eyes on it and has measurable conversions. The problem with TV is that anybody could be watching TV and you don't know who they are. It could be like somebody's 5-year-old passing by watching a TV thing. When you are doing social media, you can really quantify who it is that is your audience. You can find out, what age group they are. You can find out if they're male, female. You can generally get that information. So, I mean, it's more valuable even than television because it's more defined.
Yeah. So Mike Eng was there, said something. His competitors are what? Entrenched and have large base support like unions, etc. Yan was starting from scratch, even in New York. Yeah, I thought Yan did pretty well. He's had a police and also fireman's endorsement.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I just wanted to take a second and say hi to Peter and hi to Shane. I don't think I've met you.
Oh yeah,
personally.
Daniel, you've
So-
never met Peter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think
Hey,
I've seen
Daniel.
him on your streams and things like that, but I just want to say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying that I think Andrew Yang is just going to keep running forever, and so the next thing is governor of New York, So get ready, for that election.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's right. Andrew Cuomo's term could be up, right? soon.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
They don't. I mean, he's horrible, right? And they don't have anybody
Well,
who's going to be running against him.
honestly,
So
I think that would be better suited for him than mayor, honestly.
Mm.
He might have a better chance. I don't think he will do it, but I think he will be president one day.
Yeah.
One day.
Well, he seems to like campaigning because he keeps doing it. So maybe he'll go for governor next. I don't know.
Yeah. So it would be nice to know like the real motivation, like when he started to consider running for the New York City mayor, where does that come from, because we kind of know, but yeah.
Well, I think that there was a lot of people in his ear saying, you could definitely win this.
Mhm.
It's a very big possibility for
Yeah.
one, and for
Yeah.
two, I think he met with Biden's team and they said, well, we don't really have a position here for you, and maybe you should run for mayor. And so I think he just picked up that baton and went
Yeah.
for it, because
Yeah.
I think if they were going to offer him, the position he wanted in the Biden administration, I think he probably would have gone for it. But I think they just kind of gave him the cold shoulder,
Yeah.
and kind of like how we feel sometimes with the
Right.
campaign.
Right. You're
So-
right. You're right. That might be true. Yeah. Yeah.
So we got to do our own thing. He probably said, I got to do my own thing. So
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay, great. So no one is coming up other than Daniel join us. Thank you so much. I think we should it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, we did it for 2 hours now. Maybe we'll catch up with Shin later. What time you think you can do it, Shin?
On my stream?
Yeah.
1:30 or 2.
AM?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Why so late? Because
Well,
people in California?
And this is what I mean. Now that my daughter is out of school, I am a little bit of a night owl. I didn't want to just like do that automatically, but what happened was I didn't sleep the 2 nights before the election, and I didn't sleep. But I didn't sleep the night before the election, and I slept 1 hour and a half the night of the election.
Oh my God!
So then I slept 9. I slept 10 hours yesterday, and I woke up around one, and then
Oh
I
my
was
God!
yeah. So I'm
it's your sleep cycle.
I'm matching my schedule from yesterday,
Yeah.
and then I'll try to phase that back to a little bit more normal after that.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. I don't think I will stay up till 1. I'm tired. So yeah. So let's
comment from Mindful Skeptics.
Yeah,
For the position.
mindful.
He says
Yeah.
that Yang was offered a position, but he passed on it.
Yeah.
And I just wonder how good your
Prob-
reporting is, Boyce. I don't know.
Probably the really shitty position.
Yeah. But I wonder if he's going to go back with CNN or anything at this point, too.
Probably. Yeah.
That'd be
Probably.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, look what Mike P wrote. California needs a new governor ASAP. Bring Yang
Yeah. Sorry. Speaking of that, there's a guy running who is definitely kind of in the Andrew Yang, I feel, space, and his name is Kevin Paffrath, and he's a YouTuber that does financing, but he put like a 20-point plan for California out, and it's very logic driven. So he might be a version. I wouldn't say like Yang, but he might be a version of Yang and kind of the data-driven approach type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I have good news. I reached 5,000.
Woo!
Woo! 5,000. Oh, thank you guys. I worked hard. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah. So thank you guys. 5,000 subscription.
Everybody follow me. I only have 4,000 and
really
4,940 to go to match you.
That was good.
Yeah,
we all have a YouTube channel, right? What about you, Peter?
Same here. I need about the same number as Shane to reach 5,000.
Oh, I picked up 2 more since we started, so that's good.
Yay!
Cool.
How about Daniel?
I'm in the 2,500 range, so
Oh.
I broke 3,000, and then the campaign started or stopped. The presidential campaign stopped. I
Oh.
lost like 500 people, so
Oh
I
my
haven't
god.
built back yet.
Oh wow. That's amazing. So you guys please support our content creators on the stage. Yeah,
Cool.
so I have been also doing a lots of one-to-one interview. I still need to interview Ching one-to-one.
She's warning you, Shane. She's
I
warning you.
know. It's like we like keep putting it off. So
We have more time now.
yeah,
It's true.
yeah. So let's do that. I have interviewed Peter, and you can check that stream. And Daniel, I can, we can have a chat if you would like to. So
Sure.
I like
Anytime.
to pick your brain. So I like to pick people's brain, especially during COVID. There's not much young gun activity going on. So anyway, check my film documentary, my Young Gun Diary. Shin was in it. Peter was in it. Daniel was not in it. I don't think that Daniel was in it. Yeah.
No.
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't.
That's
yeah.
right. Maybe next time.
Yeah. So yeah, so you guys, thanks so much for watching us, and I think we're gonna call it out, and we're gonna do this again sometimes, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks. We'll talk to Young Gang again to see what's the progress.
Well, it was a pleasure.
Yeah,
Take care, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so good night, everybody. Thank you for being with us, and we still Young Gang forever. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Good night.
Later.
Good night. Thank you. Good night.